Poorly directed, however, and the mark is taken by Banfield. He clears wide, and the Bears, through Jeff Rains, will get out of strife on the half-back flank. Anderson giving him close attention on the mark. Rains going long down towards the half-forward line. No one able to pick it up cleanly. Sock it off the ground towards the wing. Essendon first to the football. It comes wide. An opportunity now. Watson gets crunched, but he gets the handball away. Madden under plenty of pressure. Loses the football. It's Mark Williams with a sweeping hand pass to Richardson. He's almost in the middle of the ground and will send the Bears into attack for the first time. Walsh comes over the top. Hardy leads in the race for the football. Chasing is Gary Foulds. Hardy body over the ball, but he loses it. Foulds sees it over the line. And a throw-in will take place. Gary Foulds, who was a late arrival up here at Carrara because his wife Judy's expecting their second child, and naturally enough he wanted to be with her.
And Brisbane making a quick change and going off Taylor, and coming on is Dale Dixon picking up Stephen Clark.
Yes, they had Taylor on a small player, Clark. They didn't want that. Madden started on the Essendon forward line, picked up by Merritt. There's the boundary throw in. Rucks go to it. The attacking end of the ground, I'd suggest. Hawker comes away out wide. Harvey pursued by Gibson. Harvey from half back puts it out of bounds on the full, or does he? No, just inside the field of play. Awkward bounce there for Dixon. Goes again, does Dixon. High kick, and Richardson gets into the back of Buick, and Buick was kicked just above the ankle there in that exchange. He's got the ball, the defensive side of left centre wing for the Bombers. Buick back towards half forward, low trajectory kick. Dixon knocks it towards the boundary line. It's out of bounds and will be thrown in.
So no score on the board yet. The opening couple of minutes of this game. Madden shielding the eyes from the sun. With him is Merritt, two former teammates. Madden trying to get it out to Foulds. Dale Dixon is down there. He can't get it out either, and so he'll have another ball up. Very warm conditions. A solid turf. Merritt with strength. Madden pulls him to the ground illegally. So Roger Merritt will take the kick, still on the defensive side of centre wing, but to put the Bombers down towards, or the Bears down towards their attacking zone. It goes over the line again, and another throw in.
Well, it's a very, very tight game initially. A lot of play centred around, or players centred around actual play. So it's very hard to get the ball away and into open spaces.
Reynoldsson trying to use the body with Somerville. Again, no one able to get it clear. Mark Williams is at the bottom of the pack. Very big crowd here at Carrara this afternoon. Bookings for this game have been marvellous. Walsh is claimed, and he's lost the football. A little bit of how do you do. It's been reversed.
Reynoldsson and Somerville.
So the opportunity now for Chris Waterson to send the Bears into attack.
Down towards half forward. Gibson should mark, and does. Gibson, about 65, 75 metres from goal, goes long down towards full forward. Where's Kappa? Surrounded. Knocked away by Walsh. Opportunity for Richardson. Right across the face. Hardy leads in the race close to the boundary line. Brad Hardy pulls it back across his body. Was it touched on the line? It touched the post. Great effort by Hardy. He was deep in the left full forward pocket. Hardly looked. First score of the game for the Bears. This is Danaher to bring it back in. He's kicking into the breeze. Comes Member's side. Fisted forward out there by Simpson. This is Hawker. Hawker from half back. Madden's in front. Merritt over the top, fisting the Bears' way. They battle after the ball. Williams at the base of all of that, and the umpire calls for it. And another ball up. Both these sides very aggressive to start. Mark Williams has found a new lease of life in recent weeks. Bounce midway between centre wing and right half forward. Merritt almost clean possession over the head of O'Donnell. Hamilton can't control it. Going in solidly. the big fellow Somerville. Bailey gets a hand pass out. Hamilton dragged off it. Back to Bailey. Intercepted by Waterson. Deep into attack goes the kick. Essendon have got the numbers. Duckworth held without it. He'll get the free kick.
So Billy Duckworth tucked in the back pocket. Essendon defence under plenty of pressure. Duckworth's kick going up towards the half-back line, taken by Walsh. Plays on straight away. Across to Danaher. Goes with a high kick in towards the centre. Watson's got to stand his ground. They all come over the top, and a fine mark taken by Dean Wallace. Plays on quickly, Wallace, just trying to centre the football to Harvey. Now Mark Harvey up towards half forward. Madden stands his ground. Didn't try to mark. Clever tap over the back by Madden. This will be a first score to Essendon through Izzard. He's goal. Bombers lead by 5 points. Here's the bounce once again with Somerville and Reynoldsson. Comes back to Reynoldsson. He's claimed, however, by Folds. Loses it. It's pushed wide. O'Donnell first to it. Gets a favourable bounce. Somerville does the shepherding work. He goes short. Still on the defensive side. Now an opportunity for Folds. It came from Bailey. Folds up towards the half-forward line again. Izzard fists it down. Clever tap on again by Madden. This time to Clark. Aims poorly at goal. Comes off the side of the boot. Slews into the right forward pocket. Maybe kept in play for Izzard if he can get there in time. He's claimed. Keeps it in play. Rains overruns it. Now a chance for Dixon. Still in there battling for the ball. Anderson now. Can't keep it in play. He tried. And the South Australian Magarey medalist hands it over as we see the Bears bench. Here's the throw-in.
Off hands. Essendon work it forward. Out of bounds on the full goes the kick from Izzard. This is Dixon. In the back pocket. Close to the boundary line goes the kick. Reynoldsson up. Was he pushed in the back? Yes, he was. He'll take the free kick. Sandwiched between two Essendon players out there, Steve Reynoldsson. So from half-back, he kicks towards centre wing. And the mark will be taken by O'Donnell. Marking Withers that time. No contest. O'Donnell comes away. Goes across the ground. Harvey intercepts nicely. Goes back towards the flank where the mark is taken by Somerville. Somerville, right half forward. A long way out from goal. High kick, they'll contest inside 50. Trying to knock on Madden. Doing a lot of that so far in this game. Battling after the ball is Spencer. Working against him down there is Banfield. And it will be a ball up. The umpires today, Peter Howe and Ian Bedford, on what is, and we've told you many times, but it's worth repeating because it's lovely to be up here, a glorious Gold Coast day. Temperature in the mid-20s. And now Madden gets a free kick. So Simon Madden, who's tried to make a couple of goals, he's made one certainly, getting it down to Izzard, has an opportunity from about 35 metres out and directly in front.
Well, it's an interesting contest between those two, Madden and also Merritt, and one negating the other, and there'll be a lot of pushing and shoving because both ruckmen try and jump early into one another, and when you do that, you usually negate.
The Bombers lead by 5 points. Madden, it looks good. They lead by 11.
By 11 points, and they're trying to go forward again through Wallace. Folds claim, back to Wallace. Can't get it clear. Walsh is in there also. Donnell tries to spin out with it. Can't do so. And we will see a bounce.
A great tackle there by Walsh.
Plenty of players around this football. Tim Watson tried to get it down. Waterson couldn't get a kick away. Watson's at the bottom of the pack and will be free kicked. Been a tremendous worker for the Bombers, particularly since coming back after shocking injuries. Madden over the top of Rains. Merritt under pressure. Anderson also. And it bounces just inside the line, so a throw-in to take place. Centre wing. Here's the throw-in. Madden wins it. Taken away, and a great chance for the Bombers through Watson to go forward again. It came from Bailey. Watson into the pocket with the left foot. He tries to pull it back. Waiting down is Clark. Can't get there in time. And we will see another bounce. But this time, only 30 metres out from the Essendon scoring zone. Kicking into this slight breeze, they have done the bulk of the attacking after a good early start by Brisbane. Williams waiting down. Clark also claimed by Richardson, tucked deep into the pocket. Can it be kept in play? It is by Buick, who chips over his shoulder, goes across and finds Spencer.
Great play. It was magnificent play. He's been a very impressive player, Darren Buick. The first time I saw him in the early night games, he was a real Victorian. You don't see too many Perth players that come across and adapt so easily. And Trevor Spencer, his first goal and the centre half forward today. And that is Essendon's third. Essendon now 3 straight goals, 18, leading the Brisbane Bears, the one solitary point. And Trevor Spencer has been at Essendon for quite a while. We'll see this build up by Buick across to Spencer. And Spencer, it's about time he started to make his mark. He showed a lot of potential and just hasn't had the opportunity in recent years. But a good shape, good size. Maybe he lacks that yard of speed that can establish him as a position player, and he's just a bit too short, although he has been used in the ruck position in previous years. And steady, and he should have steadied on that time because he had an open goal.
Gary Fold brings the ball back into play. This is a crucial time for both sides, particularly Essendon, though, because they still haven't got it out of defence. Towards Madden, with him is Merritt. He's done well in the spoiling department so far today. Well tackled was Bailey, has lost the football. Now a chance for Walsh to steady the Bears. Towards half forward once again, Reynoldsson.
An interesting battle between these two, Reynoldsson and Somerville, because they're obviously going to go together. Now Reynoldsson is doing the right thing. He's got tremendous endurance and he's running Somerville around the ground.
Down towards Taylor and also Kappa. Waiting for the ball, however, is Buick, and he gets Essendon out of trouble. Over the head of both Merritt and Madden. Rains picks it up. Hooks it back high. Somerville uses the body coming in from the side. Withers bursts through, goes onto the left foot, shoots in towards full forward, but there's no one at home, and the mark is taken by Danaher.
Danaher in short. This is Buick in the back pocket. Play is on. Kicks high towards centre wing. Dixon's in front. Gibson over the top. 2 Bears in effect in the air. Dixon is taken high. No doubt about that free kick. So Dixon will take the kick on centre wing. First quarter played in 2 halves. Dixon down towards half forward. All Essendon at the drop of the ball, and the mark is taken by Danaher, drifting up from fullback. Danaher told he's played on by the umpire. That was news to him. Eventually he kicks then back towards centre field. Merritt gets a fist on that one. It didn't go forward. Waterson, Izard in a very congested area, pulled off the ball. This is Clark. Buick has it on centre wing now. Buick pulls it back towards half forward. Harvey's the danger man here. Lester Smith got back and put a hand in, but still it's Harvey. He got the feed from Spencer. Now it's with Bailey. Bailey closing on goal. 15 metres and a little chip pass along the ground, almost as successful.
Well, Dean Bailey, a real paddler in the football terms. He's not very fast over the ground, but he is exceptionally quick in his action, his initial reaction. We see there as Buick sets him up, nobody around, but Bailey, a paddler, bouncing in, not going at top pace, and then realising an open goal, makes sure of it by dribbling the ball along the ground, hitting the base of the line just on the goal point.
Back in the middle once again. It's a 3-point margin to the Brisbane Bears, close to siren time, and this is the first quarter. Madden uses the body strongly. Keane hooking it over his shoulder, looking for Izard. Tremendous mark. He'll be kicking from the 50-metre line. There's no one back in the square. Spencer dropping back there now. But Alan Izard goes short. Finds Clark. He'll be kicking from directly in front of goal, but only still just inside 50. This to give the Bombers a 3-point lead. Clark going for his first goal. The drop punt is on its way. Off target. So another behind on the board. It's the first for the Bombers. Kevin Sheedy, Kevin Egan and co. Down waiting for that siren to sound. As Lester Smith puts the ball out in front of Mark Williams. Chasing is Watson. Close to the boundary line, Williams gets his kick, pulls it back over the head of Withers. It goes. McIver, a touch, but that was all. Hamilton, McIver again trying to push it wide, does so towards Withers. In trouble, look for Williams, but intercepted by O'Donnell. to the half-forward line. Gibson, boot to ball, over the line. With him is Buick, also there Harvey. And we will see another throw-in. So a good tight first quarter. Starting off well was Essendon, getting the early break, but the Bears steadying well, clawing their way back and in fact clawing their way to the lead.
Roger Merritt will have to start and get in front of Simon Madden. Every time there's been a contest between these two, it's been Madden in front, Merritt behind.
Too short, so he puts out the pass to half forward. Spencer got his hands to it, couldn't hold the mark. And there's the siren. It's quarter time here at Carrara, with the honours going with the home side. The Bears, they lead 4-3-27. Edel brings it up to half forward, and Madden, too much height, plays on quickly to Keane. He's got a back pedal, now finds Hawker. In trouble. They're still going backwards. Watson, almost legged, wider to Keane. Pulls it back in towards half forward.
I think that was a volley take, wasn't it?
It certainly was. It bounced about a metre in front of him.
Might be interesting to have a look at that one again. Roger Merritt had a wry grin on his face.
We see here Keane, the ball, oh, I think it did touch the ground, a half volley.
Well, Somerville's not saying a word.
Neither would I if I was in his position.
So he's going to have a shot. He'll be kicking from some 47 metres. Short proppy run up. It goes long, very long kick, and it's a beauty. First goal to Peter Somerville, and first for the Bombers this quarter as they regain the lead, 5-1 to 4-3.
Well, it'll be an interesting move, that one, because Reynoldsson was supposed to go with Somerville wherever he went through the day. Brisbane Bears thinking that Somerville would ruck or change with Madden, but now they've made the move, Essendon. Somerville to full forward, and Reynoldsson still in the ruck with Spencer. And Spencer got that knockout because he has got that leap, and it'll be an interesting battle between Spencer and Reynolds. Put it through. A bit reminiscent of Warren Jones's effort.
Yes, as Danaher brings the ball back into play. The Bears doing the bulk of the attacking, but just unable to convert. Watson and Williams. Clear again. Watson tries to surge through. Play on is the call. It caught players on both sides a little unawares. Francis takes advantage of it. Down towards half forward. Richardson and Buick waiting down, but the whistle had sounded. It'll go back. A free kick will be taken by Rod Lester-Smith. To Walsh. Still on half back. Dixon's in the middle, short if he wants him. He elects to go long. Taylor. Over the top was Izard. Loves a fly. Can't take it as he tries to spoon it out the back. It will take a free kick. Izard to half forward. A bit of a nudge on that occasion too. Roger Merritt didn't like it. But it was there, and that could just about be 50.
I think it is. You'll see by the way the umpire's going back, it is 50 yards. So
and it's a lovely 52. It brings him almost to the square. It'll be a long trot for Simon Madden. So disappointment for Merritt. Simon Madden has one to his credit. The Bombers are making a change. Harvey's going to come back onto the ground. Let's watch Madden. He shoots a goal and makes no mistake.
The second term, Essendon lead 38-28. One down by Somerville, taken by Hawker. The kick goes towards half forward. Awkward bounce down there for Richardson. Wallace feeds the hand pass out to Bailey. Over the top, intended for Buick. He couldn't control it. It's back to Wallace. Oh, good hand pass. Keane goes into an open goal and gets it.
I think the umpire's running across whether he's going to pay that or allow him to have another kick. Oh, he is. He's paying that.
Yes, he's given the all clear. So the goal to stand, scored by Keane. And a couple of very good hand passes in that build-up. The last of them well timed. The time of the release was second perfect. Well,
that was a quick build-up by Essendon, but Rod Lester-Smith went for the knockout in the centre of the ground. Now maybe they should make a change.
Taylor to half forward. The Bears want one. Donnell within 50. 40.
The temperature 22 degrees when we started, and Brisbane have a history of finishing their games pretty strongly up here. It'll be interesting to see how Essendon go if this game is close late in the day. Now there's a free kick. It's going Brisbane's way and will be taken by Rod Lester-Smith. Up towards centre wing, Lester-Smith. Little chip pass over the top, out wide. Withers. 8-2 to 5-5. Withers towards half forward with a kick. Somerville from behind, fisting away from Reynoldsson. Harvey from the standing position through centre, out of mid-air by Merritt, back towards half forward. Walsh certainly was pushed in the back and he'll get the free. Francis was the offender. So Walsh best and fairest last season for Brisbane, and now 50 metres.
Now you can.
Kick towards the outer side from Danaher is a long one. That's the time remaining, you can see. Opportunity again for the Bears. Donnell, Duckworth. Duckworth leads back in the race.
He wins out, going across to Walsh, persisting with the handball. They'll get out of trouble. Folds is on the end of it, going over the top of Francis and finding Wallace. Now Hawker, under 2 minutes remaining, to Watson.
Brisbane might have to make a move. Tim Watson's starting to run amok up on that forward line. He is a real focal point and leading Mark Williams to the ball on the occasions that it has gone up there in the second quarter.
Tim Watson directly in front, kicking from probably 47 metres. It's a long drop punt. It's a great looking kick. 36 plays 56. Once again out to a 20-point margin favouring Essendon. Trying to burst his way through was Dean Bailey. He'll be free kicked from the middle. Kicked a goal in the first term, Bailey, for the Bombers. Going up towards Wallace, over the head to Watson. Can he get clear of Lester-Smith? Gets his kick in towards full forward. But brought away on the last line of defence to Reynoldsson. Plays on quickly to Waterson. Has got players running and decides to use them. The kick from Simpson over the centre. Waiting at the back over is O'Donnell. He feeds to Harvey. Harvey goes into the middle to Francis, and he decides to go long, tumbling a punt towards Watson and also Lester-Smith. Dixon on all fours. Now claimed. The ball was held, and a bounce will be the result. Time ticking away for both sides in this second quarter. It's been tight and tense, but Essendon, just in the closing stages, have been able to break clear. Madden slaps it wide. Williams, a chance. With him will be Harvey. Over the line at centre wing. We could probably just see one more throw in. We won't even see that. There it is. It's half-time here at Carrara. And the ball is about to go back into play to Buick. We'll get round Simpson. Goes onto that left foot and spearing one in beautifully to Danaher, who's on centre wing, trying to draw Harvey. He's got to try and flick it back to Madden. Capper is there with him. He's taken out of it. Tries again. Works hard to try and give it to Gibson. Towards Simpson. Claim. Eventually Anderson. Underneath at Buick. Can run on. He's clear. 50 metres. Over to Clark. A poor hand pass. The advantage will be paid and Hawker will go into an open goal. He'll give it to Watson or kick it himself. He'll kick it himself.
62 plays 43 here at Carrara. There's the bench for Essendon.
Somerville off. And Spencer's gone to full forward and Madden now in the ruck.
Keane with Somerville there. That's our scoreline. Having played just over 8 minutes, third term. Merritt directly to Harvey. Harvey's kick to half forward, lands on the chest of Hawker, the man who kicked the last goal. Still inside the centre square, Glenn Hawker. Goes for distance, into the path of Spencer. Can't take the mark. Rains does well again. Typical Rains. He breaks away, kicks it back towards the centre of the ground. Trying to knock on was Gibson. He's worked out of it. This is Francis. At close quarters to Bailey. Chip pass out wide into the path With Hawker once more. It sits for him nicely. Hawker goes towards the square. That's an intelligent kick. It falls behind. Izzard off the ground. Didn't make contact. Banfield ties it up. Well played by the Bears. And Clark goes rather strongly into Phillips. And Phillips is going to get the free kick down there. He's out at the base of all of that. And Banfield did very well initially for the Bears. It was going to be a bounce. Now it's a Bears free as Phillips goes towards the outer side. And the strong mark is taken by Reynoldsson. Reynoldsson gets it to Williams. Williams goes towards the middle of the ground. And the mark is taken by Richardson. Mike Richardson, midway between right half back and right centre wing. He's done a pretty good job today. He started out by marking Buick. Not an easy customer to cut out of a game. Richardson a long kick towards half forward.
Big pack of players, and Madden coming in from the side takes a fine mark. Simon Madden. Watson will come over the top. Almost plucked it. Merritt working hard underneath. And the end result will be a bounce. Roger Merritt and Tim Watson. Former teammates, Kevin Sheedy keeping a close eye on things. He knows his side has got to keep winning if they want 5th spot. Harvey's high kick. Bailey. Waterson. Will come back. To Waterson. Bailey the man on the mark. Waterson from half back. Merritt has his eyes on this one. Looking for the player going past. To Philip Walsh. Goes very wide. But finds Donnell. The lead of Fidge is ignored. He goes longer. In the pocket is Kappa. Fisted down in front is Walsh. Over the top to the running Izzard. From half back, one bounce. Clear of Banfield as he gets his kick. It goes wide and out of bounds on the outer side of the ground. It's at centre wing. Just one of the many boards that Essendon uses in its bid to outwit its rivals. Madden. Duckworth. To the right half forward flank. Well kept in play. The kick wobbles towards the boundary line. Spencer may just get there in time. Now a chance for Reynoldsson. Feeds it off to his smaller player. That was Waterson. Duckworth again. Claim. Loses the football. Izzard. To half forward. Out comes Clark. Play on is the call. To Harvey. No one at home. It goes over the top. Bailey, can he soccer it through? One. He can.
Well, by 25 points. Hawker brings it away from the centre yet again. He goes out wide, intended for Clark. It's knocked away by Phillips, but Brenton Phillips got into the back of Clark, and Stephen Clark will take this free kick out towards right half forward. Too far out to score. Buick is free. That's the direction the kick takes. Buick 60 metres out. They've got the chain going. Wallace drops the easiest of marks in the pocket. They had the spear man. Now Wallace under pressure. Goes looking for Bailey. Touch ball was the call. Spencer's got it. Back to Wallace. Wallace 15 metres out. Gets the goal.
Bailey's in trouble.
Well, they made a real meal of that Essendon there. I suppose Wallace the main culprit there because he had an easy chest mark. Chest mark as Hawker came out of the centre there. There was a 2-on-1 situation with the Essendon having the 2, outnumbering the Bears' defence. But here, Bailey centering. Courageous by Bailey. He got a knock in the head, but he looks as if he is all right. A little bit wobbly on the feet, but I think he's brushing the trainers away.
Wants the smelling salts, I think. He's saying, who hit me? I think the answer is Dean Wallace. Nice kick in. There's the bounce back in the middle. Banfield does well from Merritt's ruck knock. Scrambles a kick forward. In there was Hardy. Opportunity behind for Donnell. Right on the line, takes a very timely mark.
Gets it away to Walsh. The Bombers out of trouble. Izzard has been busy. A high kick to centre wing. Williams the flyer. Mark Williams sending Brisbane forward. They want to steady with a couple of goals. Everyone over Donnell. No free kick paid. The ball breaks loose. Francis tries to stop the run. He does so now. Goes back towards the centre and Mark Harvey takes it. Now Hawker. Oh, he does it well. Back to Harvey. A poor kick. Watson lurches forward to send it to Anderson. Back to Watson. A little chip in towards the half-forward line once again.
Great courage.
He was just knocked down, what, about 30 seconds ago, and he takes that sort of mark. That says something about him, doesn't it?
But he also looked before he went to, Dennis, and he realised that he just had to go on that occasion, Dean Bailey, and he realised also that Gibson was coming, and they're a horrible kick to stand under.
He's kicked too, Dean Bailey. This is going to make it very hard for the Bears. The drop punt is on its way. It's a lovely looking kick.
13-2, 6-7. Harvey out of the centre towards half forward. Gibson does very well. Backed himself against the ball. Collision. Harvey met him.
He's a willing type, isn't he, Gibson? Who runs straight, and he's a very disciplined player. I was like the way he was picking up a player earlier, and he walked right over to the bench here as that player came off the ground. And he really does concentrate, the former Queenslander.
Merritt at the base of all of that. It was Harvey who kicked it down towards half forward. Gibson tracked it out. And then the collision was Harvey and Gibson coming from their respective corners. And Roger Merritt gets the free kick after that. And sends towards half forward. McIver reaching over the top. Richardson got the crumbs. Phillips in trouble. Banfield does well, shrugs the tackle. McIver to Rains. Sweeping hand pass out wide, taken by Richardson. Richardson from half forward, centering kick. Too much carry for McIver. Away comes O'Donnell, boots it back towards midfield. Bailey in front, Waterson knocks it away. Great dash and courage shown by Walsh. Eyes only for the ball. Great vision too downfield. He went looking for the man who was free in the pocket. That was Phillips, but it's going to be a free kick. Izzard going in against two Bears and showing a lot of courage in that exchange out of the back pocket. Things running for Essendon at the present time.
His kick going up towards centre wing. The mark taken by Rains. The Bears have certainly had plenty of the football, but they've just been unable to score heavily enough at this moment. O'Donnell, claim, brought to the ground. Support from Danaher. Burst clear. Goes over the top to Harvey. They crunch down. They're going to run out of room. Free kick to Harvey. Keane is warming up on the sidelines for Essendon, so a change is imminent. Harvey on the defensive side of centre, going from one edge of the square to the other. Lester Smith defensively away to Withers. Back to Lester Smith again, but he's claimed. The change is made. Anderson is off. Keane is back on for Essendon. And Lester Smith has the football. Almost in the middle. 43 plays 80. Wide to Waterson. Who goes long. It'll be a free kick down the ground to Richardson. Play on. He heads into the pocket. Looking for Fidge. But not going to have a very long stay at all on the bench. Stephen Clark is going to be replaced. And Anderson will be back in the fray once again. Keane trying to get it back to Madden. Close to the boundary line on that outer side. Izzard goes to ground. Roger Merritt has a look back at him. Says, don't worry, we'll have a boundary throw in.
It's too far out to score. He'll kick from about 55 metres. Although his kicking has improved certainly this season. He's getting more distance with his kicks. Nothing Walsh could do about that. Warwick Capper has missed a couple of easy marks today. The crowd have been on him a little bit in this term. The Bears desperate for a goal. He starts at left. It stays left. They contest about 5 metres out. Merritt claiming the mark through his fingertips, and through it rolls for a behind. 7-9 the Bears, trailing Essendon 13-4. Almost three-quarter time.
And still 31 points the margin. Danaher to Walsh. To the half-back line looking for Francis. Fisted clear by Philip Walsh. Watson won't keep it in play. And so another throw-in to take place. Peter Knights wondering what he can do to get his side back into this game with a little over a quarter of football remaining. Francis. Harvey over the top. Williams now. Clear. Chipping short to Richardson, who gets a very poor bounce. Does well to try and tap it onto Banfield. He ran into McIver and they bottled it up. So we'll see a bounce. And Peter Banfield picking himself up. The shadows starting to lengthen across the ground. Lester Smith's kick short. Hardy tries to trap it. Couldn't do so at the first attempt, so socket it down towards Capper. Can he trap it cleanly? No, he can't. He has it stolen by Danaher, who's been in very good form of late. Beautifully to Hawker, who can run on. One bounce. Two. Over the top to Harvey. Inside 50. He steadies. Fires with the right boot as he chips in towards goal and misses. Well, the build-up deserved better, Don.
It was a terrific build-up, starting down on that full back line with Anthony Danaher and Mark Harvey there on screen. Should have just taken a little bit more time, as Warwick Capper is going to be taken from the ground. And Andrew Taylor coming on to replace him. So that's very interesting move.
Yes. Disappointing because there was a large roar from the crowd, which is a very big crowd here at Carrara, and they saw the runner go out to Capper, and Capper doesn't come off through the interchange gates, pardon me. He was about a metre wide of those interchange gates as he came off. I don't think he's upset. He was simply not paying attention. If anyone from Essendon was, he wouldn't be able to come back on the ground. Meantime, back at the ball game, Hamilton, he's playing. Now what's the umpire going to do? His body's everywhere. And I think we may have a ball up. No, he's going to award a free kick to somebody, is he? It'll be a Brisbane free kick. It's going to McIver. So Warwick Capper sits down. Taylor goes to full forward. And McIver, a chance to score from about 30 metres out, almost directly in front. Very much a down day for Scott McIver. Only a few touches. That's a beautiful kick, though. Merritt struck by
support to Hardy.
As you can see, Brisbane working their way back into this after they trailed by 26 points at three-quarter time. Dixon out of the congestion. There's the time remaining. Down goes Richardson. Francis, who was a little annoyed about having to come off after the huddle at three-quarter time, goes in strongly and will have a ball up. Long shadows creeping across Carrara now in what's been a beautiful day. 22 degrees when play started. It's dropped to 20. Perhaps just a shade under now. Bounce on the outer side. Rucks go to it. Reynoldson for the Bears. Withers in the open. Hooks it down towards half forward. Walsh has got the run on the ball, but not required. Danaher slips it in front to take the mark. Ghosting away O'Donnell. To the outer side, Francis. Left half back. Long towards the centre of the ground. Lester Smith outmaneuvered that time by Watson. And Watson has paid the mark. Great strength by Tim Watson. To Hawker. No one near him. Over the top he goes. Madden in the pocket. It's a question of accuracy. Has he got it? It looks pretty good. Oh, great goal.
Well, that was well set up again by Essendon. They had the loose man running on that outer flank. Watson across to Hawker, who made plenty of space. There's the big handball from Hawker, and Madden onto that left foot. It's a good kick from there, considering the angle, and also he turned on, or his left foot being his dominant foot being on the boundary. Usually a left footer would prefer to kick from the opposite side of the ground, and that side there did favour a right footer, but good kick by...
So a throw in on that outer side of the ground.
When the Bears do go forward, usually they do go wide, principally because they haven't got a centre half forward they can direct play to. And they do waste a lot of opportunities by going wide to the boundaries.
Just over 17 minutes of this game remaining, so if they're good enough, the Bears, they'll be able to get up. But they're going to have to score the next couple of goals pretty quickly. Watson and Lester Smith fisted clear. Phillips couldn't take it. Duckworth picks it up, but he's under pressure, eventually loses it. Donnell forcing forward to Richardson. Him, one behind, goes on the board. A critical kick, that one. 4 goals, 3 behinds is the contribution made by Brad Hardy. The ball back into play dangerously. Taylor props over the football, looking for the free kick, did not come his way. The Bears still with a chance. It's with Withers now. He scoots around the pack, goes with a hand pass deep in towards the pocket, picked up by Gibson, who has a high kick in towards full forward, but Walsh is the only one home for Essendon.
He immediately plays on. This is Danaher. Members side, good kick too. He finds Watson.
Delivering the ball well today. Danaher on that left foot.
Watson, right half back. High kick towards centre wing. Simpson missed the ball. Duckworth is tackled. Buick is hurt. He's down. Meantime, the Bears run it forward. This is Donnell. Donnell thought about the hand pass. Now he elects to kick towards half forward. Reynoldsson outmarked on that occasion by Folds. Darren Buick is okay. Feeling the effects of a hard knock around the head. But he's standing up. Meantime, the ball goes towards centre field. Richardson couldn't do much. Knocked on by Clark. Look out. Clark will run inside 50 and drop it. Gets it across to Hawker. Hawker about 35 metres out and closing. They're doing their best to mumble this one. He pulls it back, and Clark gets on the end of it and takes the mark and is ridden into the ground. Clark is only about 10 metres out. Well, they did everything bar run it out of bounds then, the Bombers. As you can see, a few of the boys on a short fuse.